Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the It Doesn't Matter podcast. And we've got myself, Strap Fact John. We've got Poppy Platano. We've got our recurring guest, host of the Nitro podcast, one half, BDC. And we've got the host of the It Doesn't Matter podcast. We have the notorious one, Dom. Boom. And we're here to discuss my choice for one of the topics here in March, and that is the final WCW pay-per-view, Greed. So, Dom, what have we got going on with WCW Greed?
First of all, happy St. Patrick's Day to the fans out there. You guys enjoy the show. And, yeah. Usually, St. Patrick's Day is about the luck of the Irish. WCW wasn't lucky with Greed right now. So we're going to get right into it. John, why did you choose WCW Greed?
Well, it was one of the only options I liked. But I chose WCW Greed because it's a very important pay-per-view, and we're going to discuss the importance of the show as we go review it, because it's not actually that important. It just happens to be a trivia note in the history of pro wrestling. It is the final real WCW pay-per-view in existence. It happened 2 weeks before they were officially shut down and sent off to WWF land, and it's just showing what WCW was at a time when they had no direction, no future, something they have been teasing themselves about in real life for the past couple of years. So we're going to take a look at WCW at a period of time when no one really was... I don't know the buy rate, but I don't think a lot of people were watching WCW at this point in time, but we did, and we're going to talk about it tonight.
All right. Well, I stopped watching WCW after Goldberg streak ended, and then we relived some Nitro episodes after the fact when, the screw job, not the screw job, where the finger poke of doom and whatnot, and now me and BDC, we are reliving all these old school Nitros and taking us back, seeing the early times of WCW and see like the next generation of Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero. We seen them, getting their feet wet right now. So this was an interesting time because I do not remember 99, 2000, and 2001 of WCW. So this being the final show, final pay-per-view of WCW, I was very interested in seeing what happened. So, WCW Greed, it kicks off with a video package of Diamond Dallas Page, and he's going to take on against the big bad booty daddy, Scott Steiner, and he's talking about how he's still standing after Scott Steiner and everybody else taking that man out, and then basically that he's the hunted and Scott Steiner is the hunter, and Scott Steiner's going to get banged. Yep. That's what it said in the video. That's what DDP said in the video package.
He said that. So,
he's going to get banged.
He said it.
I know. He said it. Yeah.
No pause.
That was the first sign that the wagon's wheels was falling off and that Joker was just going to skid down the trail. That was the first sign right there. Not even 5 minutes in.
All right. Well, for this legendary show, we have Tony Schiavone and Scott Hudson on commentary. Where's Bobby? Where's Eric? Well, I know Eric was gone. Where's Mike Tenay? Where's
anybody other than Scott Hudson?
Yeah, where's Mark Madden?
Yeah. Bobby Heenan was long since fired, and Mark Madden, I'm not so sure. I think they did a video package during this show, and Mark Madden was on it, or maybe I'm getting confused, but I'm like, where the hell is Mark Madden? So I'm not sure where that guy was.
Wait, Bobby got fired from WCW?
I think Mark Madden was fired from WCW also. I know that he was a writer in the dirt sheet that I was reading at the time, the Pro Wrestling Torch, hosted by Wayne Keller. PWT, and
yeah, he was.
What I thought was interesting between myself back then and myself now is that the bigwigs, some of the bigwigs in the dirt sheet world of wrestling, the Pro Wrestling Torch, the Wrestling Observer, P. Windsor, as they mistakenly called it once, on with Mike Johnson. I was a PW Torch guy because I liked Wade Keller's analysis, and he kind of just explained things. That was his writing style, which I appreciated at the time. As I grew older in wrestling, I stopped caring about someone telling me what they thought. And I did, at the time, as a kid, I did not like the Observer because I thought it was too much about, like, the newsletter itself had too much stuff that I didn't care about. Like MMA and boxing, I was like, I don't care about those things. And other promotions, the AAA, the Japanese wrestling. Oh, how the turntables have turned. And now I seek the news more, if you can call it that. So just more of the facts instead of the analysis. That's why I don't follow the Torch anymore. But anyway, Mark Madden was a writer for the Torch, and he is notably absent from this pay-per-view, leading Scott Hudson to be a little loose on commentary, if you ask me.
Too much. I mean, he kind of distracted me in a way to the point where it's like, go away. Just leave Tony Schiavone to himself.
Would have been better.
Yeah, it did not feel right to me. But all right, let's get back to the showdown.
All right, well, our opening contest, except for one fall, we have KweeWee, whatever his name is.
KweeWee.
KweeWee.
Alan Funk.
Taking on Jason Jett. Plasno, who the hell are these two guys?
I have no idea because I was like, who?
Well,
did KweeWee ever end up in TNA though?
I think KweeWee did.
I remember him distinctly for some reason.
It was the hair.
He was probably, he was definitely in the X Division for at least to like 2004 or 5. That's the only thing I remember him from, and that's about it. And then Jason Jett, I mean, he looked like it was like a prospect that they were willing to put their money in, but well, their penny stocks didn't cash in, so they gone.
Yeah, Jason Jett, he had a decent look, and he was pretty impressive in the ring. I'll give him that. KweeWee, I'm not sure what his role was. Like, he's like a
comic relief.
He was a Rico before his time, I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. Like, he could be with Prince Iaukea, the artist formerly known as Prince Iaukea. But
yeah, I think KweeWee's gimmick at that point was he was just like flamboyant and all this, and then he got mad and he like had an alter ego called Mad Allen, I think his name was, when he got pissed off and lost his temper. Yeah,
Oh, so it's kind of like
Damian Priest when he was doing that split. You had Priest, and then you had Damian when he got pissed off. That's kind of.
I was thinking more of a TNA character like Eric Young, where Eric and Super Eric, but it just didn't factor that way.
Yeah.
Well, for my notes, I have Jason Jett looking impressive.
Yes, he did.
And,
he did.
Long story short, I wasn't fond of this opening match right here. I could go through the details. I could tell you who did what and whatnot, but it's not even worth my time. Jason Jett, he was that babyface. He kept trying to play to the crowd. I'm about to do this.
Yeah.
I'm about to do this. Like, he just do it already. Just like,
come on, everybody, cheer me on. Let me do this. Like, dude, just do it.
You know,
they call that indie-rific. That's what you do on an indie house show, indie show, is that you get the people involved.
Keep people from falling asleep. Keep people from falling asleep. Yeah.
You still fall asleep. But.
Yeah, exactly.
But all right, well, Jason Jett, he won with this, I couldn't think of the name, but it was like some type of like throwing suplex.
Yeah, you called it the crash landing.
There you go.
Yeah.
This was his second match in WCW. I think he had a match at Thunder.
Yeah, this was his pay-per-view debut.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sucks it was short-lived. Not sure what happened to him after the fact, but
I know where he didn't end up.
It doesn't matter. Strap, your show, your call. What are your thoughts on this match right here?
It was a match that I mean, we all have the same thought as in watching it now. Of course, is like, who are these guys? Who cares? Why bother? But they did have. So they walked into it with this lack of interest, but they worked really hard, and once people realize, oh, it's not just a very brief squash match. They actually are trying. They're really trying, and they have some substance to them. I mean, granted, like again, who's KweeWee? Who is what's his name?
Jason Jett.
Chris Jetty. So again, who are these guys? But they tried really hard, and even though he was indie-rific at the end there, he still had the crowd with him, and shh, no one see what I'm about to do, playing possum. So he was trying, but this is just this ain't WCW, you know.
Okay, so I have a little something on Jason Jett. I just kind of, because every now and then I'll just pop something up. So Jason Jett also was in ECW under the name Easy Money.
Oh, right.
Really?
He was Easy Money in ECW. Yeah.
Don't know what that is.
Easy Money and Kid Cash.
Dante, look that up. Remember Easy Money? You like ECW?
That was the later years of ECW when they were
There you
really
go.
just going.
Yep.
I've heard of that guy in ECW, but not this guy in WCW.
No.
That's crazy. Never would have thought of that.
Question for you guys. You guys remember AJ Styles in WCW?
No.
Yeah.
You do?
I wasn't watching at this time, so.
I know he was there. I don't remember.
We
anything
knew
that
it
he
well
did.
after the fact, but did you
AJ
ever see
Styles
him
and
like
Aaron
on
Harris.
Thunder or anything like that?
Yeah, that was the tag. You know, the Cruiserweight tag titles: AJ Styles and Air Paris. That's all I remember. But I wasn't actually following them at the time. You know, so yeah, I just wasn't. I was aware of the storyline. It was kind of like you read about something
like,
versus
just
actually
know.
watching it and absorbing it, and I was not watching it at the time.
Crazy to think that AJ Styles started in WCW.
WCW original, TNA original.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, our next match is for the inaugural WCW Cruiserweight tag titles. We have Rey Mysterio and Billy Kidman, your filthy animals, taking on Primetime, Elix Skipper, and Kid Romeo. Platinum, who the hell is Kid Romeo and Elix Skipper? Let the people know.
Kid Romeo would probably be a jacked up version of Rey Mysterio, more flamboyant. And Elix Skipper is probably one of the most athletic cruiserweights and has one of the most memorable moments in TNA history. So, if you ever seen that guy walking the six sides of steel and doing the Hurricane Rana, Primetime Elix Skipper.
Elix Skipper, yep.
And then obviously the Filthy Animals, one that got Torrie Wilson, even though it was dirty and never washed, and someone actually took his mask off for once.
And his son is Dirty Dom. But anyways, you said Kid Romeo reminds you of a jacked up Rey Mysterio?
Yeah, so if Rey Mysterio had about 60 pounds of muscle on him and a little bit more flamboyant, that's Kid Romeo.
See, it's funny you say that because on my notes, I have him as Ricky Starks or NXT Ricky Saints.
No.
Nah,
No.
That's what I got him as.
I think I can see where Poppy's coming from with that, because it's literally when he first unmasked his hairstyle, the hair, and then you just, like I said, just kind of jack him up a little bit. Yeah, I see it. My problem was dude was dancing like
you know who it reminds me of now?
dude was dancing like Lola Vice on the stage.
Yes.
I was like, what is happening right now, dude? Like, what is happening?
If you watch this entrance with Kid Romeo and you watch Lola Vice, it is like...
Well, I'm marking clip, guys. First mark clip of the night.
Kid Romeo's going to be pissed, but hey.
Who did it better?
Hey, at least you inspired somebody to do something.
That's terrible.
Mark a clip.
I just marked the clip. Oh, man.
Kid
All right,
Romeo
well.
makes me uncomfortable. He makes me question my own sexuality, Kid Romeo.
Yeah, the way he was. No man should be able to move his hips like that.
No.
Stop being jealous.
It's like,
That's
dude,
Spanish.
this guy is really Magic Mike in
Jimmy.
Miami. Like, he's doing it for real. He wants the tips. He wants the money. He's down in Clearwater trying to get the tips. Just the tips. And, you know, Elix Skipper would join him in a jig or two. And I'm like, I don't like these guys dancing together.
But he kept it street though. Elix kept it street though. He kept it somewhat street until he started doing that shoulder shit. And I'm looking at him like, bro.
Yeah, Yo, so that was at the.
No, you lost me now, bro.
Oh man. Well, we can just fast forward this whole match. Basically, Kid Romeo and Elix Skipper won the match. They are your inaugural tag team cruiserweight champions, and then after the match, they got the belts, and Romeo did his Lola Vice, and Elix Skipper did
his shoulder shimmy thing, and then they both did the shoulder shimmy thing.
Yeah, like some R-Truth type of maneuver.
This was arguably the best athletic match on the show. You can't skip over this. This is for the cruiserweight.
It wasn't athletic, but the best one. But okay, no, we can go into it.
It was one of the better matches that they had there. So yeah,
it was told properly, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna get to my notes. So Rey Mysterio, he comes out. He have the half mask on. If you all don't know, at the time, Rey Mysterio, he was masked. Well, his mask got removed from Big Sexy.
Yeah.
And so he had a half mask on. He took it off. Blah blah blah. That was a good look. Rey at this time, he was looking buffed, jacked to the gills, and it was a very fast-paced, entertaining match. And Billy Kidman, he was impressive until he got to WWE. Because when he hit that shooting star press off the top rope to the outside of the ring, that shit was clean. That shit was flush. That was real good. But
Kid Makazi.
Yep, the Kid Makazi. That's what they called it. Yeah, that was pretty good. Man, what was that match when we watched? We reviewed it, and you could tell he put on some weight. And he
anything in WWE.
Basically, yeah. It was one of them SmackDown pay-per-view shows.
So he did that move to the outside, the Kid Makazi, the shooting star press to the outside, and you can see he's already developing an angle, a curve. Like he's just not hitting it right. His equilibrium is already off.
Oh man, yeah.
It's a tough move to hit accurately. Trying to pull hurts.
But he was the guy. Like this is his move, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, he was eating and catering, so that's what happens.
Some good ass cater. They got taquitos. They got some.
But you know what? This is a good tag team match. This gave me like an AEW feel to it. I'm not knocking AEW. It was like they was just all over the place. More like a tornado tag. All Havoc is breaking loose. And my question for y'all is: obviously he went to TNA. I'm not gonna say he was a major player, but why didn't we see primetime Elix Skipper in WWE when the invasion took place?
Because he's ugly.
Because he was a cruiserweight. I don't want nobody to cruiserweight. Oh.
Like
you really had to say he was ugly?
Yeah, far be it from me to talk about someone's cosmetic appearance, but he ain't cosmetically pleasing, in my opinion. He's just an ugly guy.
You think R-Truth looked better than him?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Damn.
R-Truth is a handsome fellow, but he looks
face wise.
Yeah. Skipper is 2 cuts away from being completely bald naturally.
I had nothing to do with it. Look at Shelton Benjamin.
He's handsome too.
He's a handsome fella.
And they dubbed all the music on the show, so whether you did not know it.
A lot of questions about that shit too.
Yeah.
Did you know what Primetime's knockoff? Because WCW knocked off everyone's music. Do you know what Primetime's was?
No.
No.
It was DMX. Party up in here.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was terrible, like they all were. Like Jeff Jarrett had Kid Rock's Cowboy knockoff, and DDP. Yeah. Actually, the only one they left intact because no one could probably recognize it was Rick Steiner. Rick Steiner had a knockoff of Welcome to the Jungle, and they left it in.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I would say I'm going to relive it, but I'm not. Unless I got to get to it. BDC, 6 years, so we'll get to it.
Yep, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. Well, like I said, it was an entertaining match, and basically the finish of the match, Rey Mysterio, he goes for a springboard moonsault, but Kid Romeo, he caught him in midair, and he hit him with the last kiss, which is basically like a shoulder breaker type maneuver, you want to say?
I've played 2K plenty of times. It's like an Emerald Fusion.
Brain buster.
Yes. Yeah, it's weird how he's got him by the... Yeah, just go with the last kiss.
Inverted
the last kiss. And then your closing segment, they dancing in the ring, shaking that ass and shoulders.
Yes. Doing that very uncomfortable twerk in the ring.
Yes, boy.
Ah, yes.
So did this match matter, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, it mattered. It mattered.
All
It
right.
mattered because we made you go back and do the play-by-play.
There you go. That explains it.
Ta-da!
All right. Well, after this, we see Buff Bagwell and the cameraman. They go into Ric Flair's locker room, and Ric Flair has the flower shirt on. He got the spiked hair, and he's in there with Road Warrior Animal and Jeff Jarrett. And at this time, I didn't know this, they were known as the Magnificent Seven. Strap,
Yeah.
who's the seven?
I forget. It was these. It was just a large heel faction. I can see. So we can do it.
Yeah.
We got Ric Flair, Animal. I think wasn't Scott Steiner still part of them, right?
Rick Steiner
Yes.
was.
Scott Steiner's a part of them. Scott Steiner's a part.
Rick was
Steiner.
Oh, Rick was too?
I think so.
Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett.
And Buff and Luger. So that's the seven.
I did not know about the Magnificent Seven. When Buff Bagwell came to the social, and they were talking about, oh, what group was Buff Bagwell in?
Wow.
NWO? Like, nah, he was in something after that. Magnificent Seven. Like, I had no
Magnificent
idea.
Seven.
That was a refresher. I did not remember.
I had
on my-
no idea. So here we go. So after this, we don't care about what they were talking about. We see
It was pointless.
Miss Hancock, also known as Stacy Keibler, come out to the ring talking about her man, the Mecca.
Oh boy.
The Mecca. If y'all don't know who the Mecca is, he was in WWEF, whatever you want to call it. He was known as Meat.
Still
But this
was.
time around, he's going by his real name, Sean Stasiak. And
Isn't
Sean
he a-
Stasiak is
He's a
taking on
second
Bam
generation
Bam
guy
Bigelow.
too, right?
What's that?
He's a second generation superstar.
Yeah.
Too, right?
Yes.
Sweet Stan. I think his name was Sweet. But his
Former
name's Stan.
WWF champion, Stan Stasiak.
Stan.
He went from Meat to the Mecca.
Yep.
She went from the Mecca Meat.
You
It,
know,
it doesn't matter.
watching this dude, watching this, the Mecca of Manhood, Sean Stasiak,
never-
remind me of someone. Austin Theory.
Oh shit.
No dollars for either guy.
Austin Theory looks better than Sean Stasiak, the chiropractor.
At least,
Yeah, but yeah.
this guy was terrible. They're both terrible.
Oh my gosh. And Bam Bam, you could tell Bam Bam didn't care anymore. He had the damn Dickie shirt on from Major Pain, and
Dude.
he had some
forgot about
wrestling shoes on. Like, shit wasn't even tied up. Like, all right, I'm just gonna go in here and get this check, and that's it.
I got some grief with Charles Shelby about this because we were talking, we were working together. He's like, yeah, you know, Vader was in this movie, Major Pain. I was like, oh yeah, I've never seen it. He's like, you should watch it. I was like, all right, I'll watch it. I'm like,
Oh, my
man,
God.
that ain't Vader. You fool. It's Bam Bam Bigelow.
He probably meant Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Charles Shelby.
We coming for you.
Punk.
All right, well, my notes for this match, I wasn't impressed whatsoever. Stasiak,
Nah.
he had a great physical look, but he was nothing special, and Bam Bam, he didn't care. Finishing the match, Keibler, takes her hair out, then she throws some spray to Sean Stasiak,
Some
And he
poison
sprays him in the
spray.
face.
sprays him in the face, hit him with a neck breaker, and Sean Stasiak is your winner. Guys, what are your thoughts on this match?
It does not matter at all.
The Rude Awakening has awoken as a finisher here at WCW Greed.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Terrible. It doesn't matter.
Bam Bam Bigelow. I don't know if how people have called for their finishers. Luger he's going for the torture rack.
Yeah.
And just things like that. And Bam Bam's calling for the greetings from Ashbury Park. It's like, yeah, who wants to see it? It's like, huh?
Like, dude,
Just-
how does that work?
I just looked
Yeah.
at it like this. Yeah.
This is one of the many times in the night where the crowd went mid.
Not even mid.
Speaking of mid, did y'all notice that black dude in the front with the red, white, and blue do-rag? He was hyped all show in the front row.
No, I did.
He
Now
was
I'm
hyped.
gonna have to go back and look for him.
That guy was hyped.
It's close to
Yeah,
the front row he's ever been.
Like it was the first time he ever been to a show.
Oh yeah, he was hyped the whole damn show. He was hyped.
Hell yeah.
He was like John at a
I'm
Rewind
not
show.
in the cheap seats no more.
That's right.
Seriously.
I didn't pay for these tickets. I got them for free.
All right. Our next match, we have Team Canada, Lance Storm and Mike Awesome versus Hugh Morris and Konan. And my God, Lance Storm and Mike Awesome look phenomenal.
Yeah.
Team Canada look phenomenal. Too bad Mike Awesome didn't really get over in WWE.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
Man, yeah.
Lance Storm did at some. Well, he kind of got over.
He was respected enough to where you looked at him and you're like, all right, he didn't totally tank his career.
Right.
Conan looked buffed as shit.
Well, and
Conan
I was about to say, I'm glad that Lance Storm and Mike Awesome looked great in the ring because Konan and once again Hugh Morris did not.
In the ring, like physically or visually?
Like
Well, Hugh Morris never.
No. I mean, they look how they look. I mean, Mike Awesome's jacked, and Lance Storm always looks like Lance Storm, and Konan is always going to be the oversized luchador.
Yeah.
And essentially, Hugh Morris, who was General Erection, and then back to Hugh Morris, he's going to always look like he did. But in the ring, yeah, it needed some tightening up.
There's one spot that I enjoyed. It's one of Conan's signature moves, and it's a dumb move. He does like a mule kick, so he's not facing his opponent. He just does a mule kick, and the guy bends, keels over, and then he spins around and does an X Factor. In this match in particular, he does that same spot, which is dumb because he's turning his back against his opponent, and then like fucking Mike Awesome or Lance Storm, they just clothesline the fuck out of him. I'm like, that's what you did.
I'm like, what did you think was gonna happen?
That's smart. I like that because they were like, all right, we study this. We're technically sound.
Yeah.
You didn't get me with that stupid move.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Well, it was a physical fight, and basically the finish of the match was Lance Storm hit a sidekick to Hugh Morris, and then Mike Awesome with the running Awesome Bomb for the win.
Like you said, man, Mike Awesome should have been way over than what his career ended up being. But
the fat chick thriller, Mike Awesome.
So that dude was very impressive for a big man.
He was good.
To move the way he did reminds me a lot of Dijak.
He was real good.
I mean, he had the look, and he had the ability to do it in the ring. I just don't know why. I mean, ECW, he was over. He was moderately over in WCW. In WWE, he just wasn't over at all, and I never understood why. And you would think for WWE to have a love affair with big men, that he should have just been hyped to the moon. But it just never happened for him.
Well, one theory is, you're right, BBC, is that, the WWE was the land of the giants, but he did not wrestle like a giant. He wrestled like a cruiserweight at a giant's size, and that's not how Vince McMahon likes his wrestlers to be. So that's why if he didn't really change his style that much, then he just didn't have a spot in Vince McMahon's vision of what WWE was supposed to be.
I don't really think a lot of the guys that came over in the invasion had a spot in Vince McMahon's vision. Period.
Right.
Outside of Booker T, the people who have been noticeable champions and who have been big names, you wasn't gonna really last long in his vision. Period.
Vince McMahon loved Booker T. Where you at? I'm at bingo, dog.
I love
Vince,
that
you
clip.
know where I am right now? I'm at church. I'm about to go play poker with the pastor.
He couldn't even hold that in. And Vince loved that.
Suckers got
Vince
to
loved
know.
that. Vince loved to be ribbed.
Oh, yeah.
Or be the,
Oh, yeah.
the ribs. But especially if you can get him to break character, he's like, all right, you got me. Don't do it again.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't appreciate when Titus O'Neil did it. That's the
Yeah.
story. Ora, ora.
Did my man?
You're
dirty.
suspended. Ora, ora.
I know.
Yep.
All he was doing was being a gentleman.
Only way you can make it back. Only way you can make it back up to me is if you run down to the ring and slide under it.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
You know, that moment at the Greatest Royal Rumble, that broke the ice because that was the first Saudi show.
Yeah.
Everyone was so on edge. Oh, man. You could feel the tension with a knife.
Hilarious.
And then he goes to do that, and the tension was just...
They kept replaying it. That was the funny thing about it. Play it again.
Titus World Slide.
I thought Michael Cole was going to pass out. That dude...
That's what they need,
I thought
man.
Cole was going to pass out.
They need that icebreaker.
Yo, he could have died, yo. If you hit that pole, yo, it'd have been a wrap.
Yeah.
Knock this
Like,
out.
thank God he slid in where there was an actual space and not the ring and not the ring pole. It would have been over.
Normally, don't they have the LED board at that time? Man, for some reason or another,
it was Saudi. It was Saudi, so I think they didn't have any of the LEDs around the ring at that point.
Oh, they had other LEDs and other things.
But they didn't have it around the ring for that first pay-per-view. God, that would have been tragic.
Good times. We gotta relive that. Next time we go Saudi. Saudi Royal Rumble next year, we relive that. Titus O'Neil.
See you in May.
Yeah. That shit.
It's not in May. No, it's Royal Rumble.
It's gonna be May. It's
The greatest Royal Rumble was different from the Royal Rumble.
Oh, well, we count that shit.
I loved it because Daniel Bryan and Roderick Strong had a moment inside the ring, and so did Kurt Angle.
Wow.
And Jericho too.
John still laughs at me every time I say I play Roderick Strong in WWE 2K.
Every time I can never. It's never gone from my memory now. Fucking Dom loves Roderick Strong.
The Messiah of the backbreaker.
Shit.
Yeah, everything was a backbreaker or something focused on the back.
Hey, Triple H used the knees. Roddy work on the back. That's it.
Roddy used the back.
Oh, Lord. All right, well, after this, we see a random security camera again with the natural Dustin Rhodes and his daddy, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And they say they're going to, Dusty's going to get ready for one of them guys, Jeff Jarrett or the Nature Boy Ric Flair, to kiss his ass. And he's planning on eating 20 burritos before the match.
What the hell's a burrito?
Yeah, Texans don't eat burritos. Well, they might. Maybe not that old Texans.
They'll bean burritos, baby. There's no beef. There's no chicken. They're going to all beans. And I think a little low when they're going to kiss my ass.
There you go. You're going to kiss his ass, baby.
Come on, Dustin. Get a little this so you a little funky like a monkey when they kiss me ass right there.
Dude, don't do that over there, daddy.
Yeah, that shit.
I ain't gonna eat all these there. Come on, Dustin, eat some. Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, well, after this, we see Buff Bagwell with Rick Steiner, and he asks, Rick, what are you going to do to Booker T? And he says, I'm going to put my thumb in his butt. Wait a minute. Like, what?
This show just...
I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, did he really say that? Did he really say that? I'm like, yeah, he said it.
Yeah. It was one of those moments you're like, what?
Who my ass? Who my ass? God damn.
Oh, Lord.
Shit.
Like, what is going on here, man? I'm like,
WCW, baby.
I said, John got me watching this shit.
You could tell the world was at a different time back then because you could get away with saying shit like that, I guess. You can't get away with saying shit like that now, though.
The crazy thing is, in 2001, WWFE, they were edgy.
Not as edgy anymore, but
WCW was rimming.
Basically.
Broke the show now.
Basically, that's exactly what happened. Oh, Lord.
my fucking ribs.
All right, well, after this.
That's not the part you had surgery on.
My left one, yeah. That's the one that hurts.
All right, well, after this, we see Sean O'Hare and Chuck Palumbo, and they say they will die to for y'all to take these tag team titles.
Yeah.
And
And
basically,
if you do, and if you kill him, more power to you.
This is the one time Chuck Palumbo had a hell of a promo. That was actually pretty decent. Sean O'Hare was still kind of green, you can tell. But man, that dude had the look of a freaking heavyweight champion in the making.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
Of course, he's green. He's Irish. Happy St. Patrick's Day. You hooligan.
I'm from Providence, Rhode Island. Chuck Palumbo.
Was he?
From Rhode Island.
Yeah, he's from Rhode Island.
Custom Chuck E. T. The biggest pop at the MSG Royal Rumble.
All right, well, our next match we have is for the Cruiserweight title. We have your Cruiserweight champion, Chavo Guerrero Jr., taking on Sugar Shane Helms.
With the Sugar Baby.
Shane Helms, he was still down. Well, he might not have been a part of 3 Count at the time, but he still had the girls with him. He's still doing the dance and whatnot. And
Yeah, he dropped the gear. He was out of the brightly colored pants.
He was
Decided to
knocked
go
down.
more wrestling attire.
how do you get more serious? Let me get some white boots.
Yeah, he had custom theme music also.
Give me
It was
some
really
tight.
hot.
Give me some nights and some tights and knee pads that I can actually wear outside of pants. Yeah.
I used to like Sugar Shane. Sugar Shane, he was okay. But that Vertebreaker, that shit was dope back in the day.
That was
I used to
probably
like that
the
shit.
greatest.
Yeah.
Greatest.
Yeah,
move I've ever
Vertebreaker is
seen.
ridiculous.
He was good. I like Sugar Shane. Now he like Billy Kidman.
I wonder if there's any PWT's merch as Sugar Shane Helms. It only lasted barely, not even 6 months. But, man. Do we
What's up with that?
remember it forever. Fuck the Hurricane. I want Sugar Shane.
Well, you know what? You guys enjoyed that Rey Mysterio and Kidman and
Y'all.
and Ricky Starks and Primetime Elix Skipper, but I enjoyed this match because it wasn't just about the Cruiserweight match. Chavo showed his technical style. He was working on Sugar Shane. He grounded him
Cruiserweight match.
real good. It was a real good match.
He also showed he stole Eddie Guerrero's music.
They all do.
Wow.
Well,
Well,
But
this match just showed again that if Chavo Guerrero was born in a different generation, maybe we'd be talking about this member of the Guerrero family being one of the greatest.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Eddie was such a big name, and he grew up with his uncle. It's so hard to get underneath that shadow. But Chavo, whew, again, showing your prowess, showing your heritage, and showing how great you really should have been. Oh my God, he just missed. He literally missed it by a generation or two. He probably would have been talked about as being one of the top stars of this generation at the time.
Yeah, he definitely missed it by. I say he definitely missed it by exactly one generation. Because if he came out before Eddie did,
Before or after?
if he was around and had the majority of his career before Eddie came along, he would have definitely been a bigger name than he actually ended up being.
Wow, you really think before Eddie?
I don't think he's going coattails. Once Eddie comes out, Chavo's on coattails. If Chavo comes out before Eddie, though, he's going to get a good deal of shine before Eddie comes out and takes over.
I disagree.
No, I
disagree.
I gotta say after.
Because the reason why I say that, because Chavo, he didn't really have the build. He didn't have the height, whatnot. And at that same time, if you would have had Chavo come out before Eddie, I damn well sure will take Demon Link over Chavo Guerrero.
Technically,
Chavo didn't have it. He didn't have any charisma. He just didn't have it.
at the time.
Generation or not, I mean, he's equivalent to Brad Armstrong here. You know, it's like, yeah, he's a great hand in the ring, a great worker.
Oh wow!
Ooh.
But
That's tight.
He's a great
star.
worker. Nothing
He ain't a
against
star.
the guy. He's good. He can't get over.
Brad Armstrong's cool. He's a great wrestler. He ain't a star.
No,
Terry
see,
Taylor ain't a star.
See, the reason I say one generation over is exactly the reason you just mentioned, is because I think as somebody who's bringing in the cruiserweight division, he would have done a lot better than coming after Eddie, because then he's going to always be compared to Eddie, which means he's never going to get the spotlight that he's looking for, because he's always going to be compared to Eddie, and he's not Eddie, not even close.
No. I see your point.
So I can see him being as somebody who's one of the pioneers of the cruiserweights, but not somebody coming after Eddie thinking he's not gonna get it.
You know, as an aside here, I just looked up Shane Helms' Pro Wrestling Tees website. And
What did you find?
here's what I found. I found a Gregory Helms t-shirt.
Damn that. We don't
And
want that.
It's from that very terrible gimmick he had after the hurricane, where his Titantron just had, you know, Gregory Helms in sunglasses, and it's like, that's your gimmick? As Jerry the King Lawler said, oh, now he's just a guy.
Yep.
You know, so he has that t-shirt available. He has a bunch of hurricane-related merch available, which is cool. He has 3-count merch available. There are no Sugar Shane merch available whatsoever.
Damn.
So sad.
And that's the craziest thing. I never understood that. It was like because he was literally there after WCW folded, so technically the Sugar Shane Helms name was his. So he could have used it at any time, but they decided to go with Gregory.
And like him,
his
the
real name?
battle of many names. They didn't want him and Shane McMahon hanging out together.
I think his
Maybe.
name is Shane Helms.
Maybe, yeah.
And in AEW, as Cody I think mentioned, he's like, just because you join our company, our company, with the same name as one of our guys, we ain't gonna change it just because of that. Brody Lee.
So
Brody.
So his real name is Gregory Shane Helms. So yeah, you can't have a Shane Helms and a Shane McMahon in WWE. So all right, we're going with your first name, Gregory.
Yeah.
Greg.
Ain't that the reason? Ain't that the reason why the Viking Raiders changed their names? Was because it was a Rowan. So they changed Rowan to Eric, and they changed Hanson to Ivar.
I think they were already.
They could have left Hanson.
They could have left both of the names alone. I think it would have been fine, but
Rowan Hansen.
Rowan Hanson, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I never understood why they changed their names. Oh yeah, the Viking Experience.
Simple. They gotta own them.
Disco, a story, the Viking Experience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna let you keep your name. I gotta
God,
own
that was the stupidest thing they ever did. The Viking Experience.
Oh my god.
What a debut for NXT superstars: the Viking Experience, EC3, and Lacey Evans.
Oh,
Where did they go?
one's on OnlyFans. Oh.
Holy moms.
We're the top 1%.
Negative. Really?
Nope. Well, speaking of 1%, our next match we have Buff Bagwell and Lex Luger.
Hey, wait, we never even talked about the match. Who won?
Oh, it was a good match. Oh yeah, Shane he won the the Cruiserweight title with a vertebraker. My bad.
With all his sugar babies.
He'll
Yeah.
break your spine.
Yeah, Shane Helms.
The best part of that was that vertebraker was a counter to a vertebraker, which that was crazy.
The gory special converted.
Yep.
Into
The
the
counter,
Yeah.
vertebraker countered into a vertebraker. Yep.
All right, Dom.
All right.
You're up.
Our next match we have Totally Buff, which is Buff Bagwell and Lex Luger taking on Chuck Palumbo and Sean O'Hare. And Totally Buff, they are buff. Luger's looking a little older right there, but Luger still look good, minus that bad haircut.
Yep.
And now he's wearing gear that's sponsoring somebody, and I was looking long and wide to see what that logo stood for, but I never found it.
That's like him flexing or something like that.
I like
The
that
rings,
logo of
whatever.
BDC. That was
And no,
him.
I couldn't find who the logo belonged to. I was like trying to find that out because for the life of me, I never remember him wearing a logo on his attire.
Well,
So
I can tell you, BDC, that the logo is part of his repackage because he abandoned the name Lex Luger and he was to be known only as the Total Package. And this was his gimmick in WCW a year prior, and that's true. And so he had this whole new gimmick with his new music, a whole presentation like the Masterpiece, Chris Masters, and yeah, that logo is the logo of the Total Package. It also may have been used as a logo for one of the gyms he owned, the Main Event Fitness gyms that a lot of those wrestlers owned, and it's actually the logo of the Pro Wrestling Tees T-shirt tank top I just bought. debuting at Las Vegas WrestleMania.
Oh, you got one. You gonna flex on them hoes?
I'm gonna flex on Luger at the Hall of Fame, saying I'm still standing. So, hey, we'll close your mouth.
So I did see you can meet Lex Luger at WrestleCon
For $8,000.
Nah, I think like $80
Nope.
for a combo.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Don't meet
you're
your
talking about the meet and greet.
Yeah, meet and greet shit. Yeah.
No, that's $8. Yeah, that's $8,000, bro.
No, $80.
They have a
at WrestleCon.
VIP Hall of Fame experience. You meet Triple H, all the Hall of Fame people, and it's a special treatment, and it's for $8,000. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm looking at the WrestleCon website.
Yeah.
I seen what days. I was looking at the schedule today.
Much of a bargain.
So yeah, so
I wish I still had my room in Vegas. God damn it.
You know, like, I know the Observer, they're having like watch parties. I'm like, wait, watch parties in Vegas? Which that when you're not going to the show, you're just gonna watch it in like a
you
hotel
fly out there and
suite.
go fucking watch. That's some shit.
It's like, what the f is that? But,
You can curse, John.
so you can go to Vegas. You don't have to go to WrestleMania. You can go to WrestleCon
No.
if that's your jam.
I wouldn't do
And
that.
you can just not go to the show, but you can
No.
still find ways to watch it.
If I'm
If I'm
there,
going- If
I
I'm
fly
going
there,
to
I have go
Vegas,
the show. You
if I'm
have
going to Vegas, I'm going to Mania. No way in hell I'm not.
Exactly. You have to be at the show. There's
That,
Some people
no
don't have
chance
that.
in hell I'm not missing that. If I'm in that city where WrestleMania is taking place, hell no.
Some people do that. Seriously, I've met some people. They're just like, I ain't going to the show, or I'm going to one night.
No.
I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
your
Not
life,
my cup of tea.
your money.
Exactly.
We don't do that here on the It Doesn't Matter podcast. We go all the way, or
All the way.
you know,
If we don't go,
or
stay
don't
home.
go.
I'll tell you what, this summer, the four of us, we'll all be at MetLife for SummerSlam. I'll tell you that, though.
Oh my god, is that where it is?
Yeah.
yep.
Someone
Two
mentioned
nights.
It's like, oh,
Two
I'm
nights.
taking my kid to SummerSlam, and I'm just like, what the hell's SummerSlam? I was like, I totally forgot.
Yep. It will be at MetLife, and yes, I will be there.
Well, you know who else is at MetLife? System of a Down. They'll be at MetLife later this year. I have a better seat with them than I did for Metallica. Anyway,
Anyways, all right, Totally Buff versus Sean O'Hare and Chuck Palumbo. Luger and Buff, they get on the mic. They cut a long ass promo before the match,
Unnecessary.
and then these dudes, O'Hare and Palumbo, they come out the champions. They take out Luger. No, actually no. Luger accidentally hits Buff, and then Buff gets super kicks.
Mhm.
And
Then they take out Luger.
Excuse me, Luger gets super kick, and then the Shanton bomb, and
Yep.
basically match is over. It was a short ass match.
Yeah. That promo was longer than the match.
man,
Yeah,
these main event stars, these icons, they're pulling freaking shenanigans because they don't want a job to the new guys. Man, if I could, I'd fired both these assholes because they didn't want to work, man. I mean,
Buff and Luger.
both of them. I mean, I would have kept Luger around, but Buff is like, you're an asshole. You guys are just not doing business, and it sucks. But that's what they were doing. But hey, I'll give you this. They were main event talent that were highly paid, but they showed up. They went out to the ring and they did a job. They didn't do it in the most honest way, but hey, they showed up and they went and did what they were booked to do. They didn't, disappear and cry about it, Hogan, and just not have a fake injury all of a sudden, Macho Man. And so you gotta give them credit for that. They didn't want to lose, but they found a way to show up to work and lose in a way that was bullshit. But hey, new natural born thrillers for the win, and there you go.
Doesn't matter.
Oof.
Does not.
All right. Well, our next match we have Canyon taking
Who's
on
better than Canyon?
Ernest the Cat Miller with Miss Jones. And Miss Jones was mighty fine. She's mighty fine.
Yes, she was.
But
Canyon.
what's up with Chris Canyon's gimmick at this time? What was he supposed to be? Is he a biker? He had a leather jacket on? Is he a renegade? What's he doing right here?
He's a stalker.
What was he?
Jeez.
That's what he was?
He was obsessed with Miss Jones for some reason.
Yeah, he was. In this match, he was.
Because he's trying to find his inner desire to shack up with Kid Romeo.
If y'all don't know, Chris Kanyon was gay. So he had no interest in Miss Jones.
BDC's camera went offline.
Chris Kanyon was gay in real life, so he had no interest in no Miss
shit.
Jones unless he wanted some
gay.
that chocolates.
That is so foul. It's so foul.
No, but you can tell. I mean, even Dom noted even like, this the presentation of Kanyon coming out. It's kind of
It's
like
weird.
Yeah,
It's a little different.
I didn't know.
It's a
Yeah.
little different.
You go from Mortis, you go to one of the members of the Jersey Triad with the velour shirts like DDP and Bam Bam with the Dickie shirt, and
Now this.
like,
Yeah, no.
what are you? Like, why are you so fascinated with Miss Jones when?
Well, it wasn't known that he liked men at that time. It was actually taboo to even come out at that time.
It's taboo.
I don't know.
Homicidal.
Yeah, I know.
Suicidal.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And the cat looked crazy. He had the baldy with sideburns. Took it back to '94 like Shaq. And
Man, they
And
pushed
during
the
this
hell
whole-
out of Cat.
during this whole match, like the Kanyon, he was just more intrigued with Miss Jones. And then
It took away from the match for me.
Yeah, it really did. And then
Yeah.
Kanyon at one point he hit the cat with a foreign object, and then Miss Jones basically let the ref know, hey, you got to check on him, you got to check on him, and Kanyon just clocks the ref, and then Miss Jones gets in the ring and basically squares up with the cat, and then the cat kicked the shit out of Chris Kanyon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like
Yeah.
damn near knocked his head off. That shit was clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, this match was more of a highlight of trying to get Cat over even more, though, more so than he needed to be. Because, man, Kanyon was not that character. He didn't fit who he was, and those stalker gimmicks don't really last that long. They're never really all that great.
Look at DDP.
That was horrible. Like, I'm sorry,
It was.
your wife looks better than the girl you're stalking. Like, come on now.
Yeah, seriously.
No offense, but Sarah was not.
Now, if it's the other way around, Taker's stalking Kim.
Got it.
Hell
You
yeah.
make a bald eagle a woman. That's Sarah Undertaker. Take BDC's breath.
I'm just gonna walk out of here. So, Taker.
They're divorced.
Oh.
Speaking of Undertaker's wife, Michelle McCool headlining this year's WWE Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Yep. And she's going to be a judge in next season's LFG. Replacing Mickey James.
Let's fucking go.
Mickey James.
Oh.
Yep. All right, well, after the match, Kanyon, he gets up from that flat line, and then the cat and former Ice Train, I don't know what his name is at the time,
With all
they
the
basically,
music.
chase Kanyon down.
Smooth.
Is his name JB Smooth?
Smooth came out the ring. He had that funky jazz music.
R.I.P. to
Running
Smooth, R.I.P. to Ice Train.
Ice Train, yeah.
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 Oh, man.
We ain't see you on WCW Nitro Podcast, but we'll see you soon.
Fire and ice.
Fire and ice. All right, well, after this, we see Lex Luger and Buff Bagwell arguing backstage, and it's caught on camera. What are you doing? You're not supposed to record that part.
You're supposed to record the good stuff. I'm Buff. Here's my twink.
Yep. All right, well, our next match, we have Booker T and Rick Steiner taking on, Booker T and Rick Steiner for the United States title, and it's a different theme song. Well, same theme song, but don't hate the player, hate the game.
I didn't like that.
Booker T, I didn't like that shit. Like, come on, man.
And you know what? They did the Booker T interviews, and also the Natural Born Thrillers had a interview segment earlier, and they're both doing this thing where they're looking off camera, both of them. Okay, and Booker T, while he's sitting in that interview segment, they cut that for his WWE Titantron. I just want
Yeah, he did. He's sitting in the corner. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
seriously.
Oh, shit.
So the WWF producers were like, "We're just gonna cut shit from the latest show they had." Greed. All right, we'll just use that stuff.
Well, this match right here, Rick Steiner, he comes out looking jacked. Rick Steiner kind of remind me of like the 1980s Rick Steiner. That man, they even talked about his biceps and his forearms, stuff like that. Rick was jacked. But here's my question: Strap, why didn't Rick go to the WWE after this?
I mean,
knowing
at this time,
they got bought out.
The Steiners, one reason is because the Steiners were not friendly with WWE at the time, so that's why Scott Steiner got there eventually, but Rick Steiner at this point in his career, he was just on his way out really, and he'd prove himself. He would kind of like leave the business around about this time. I mean, he'd make appearances in TNA a little bit and spend more time with his family. But this is not Rick Steiner of old. This is definitely not Rick Steiner of old. He wasn't the happy-go-lucky special needs babyface that he was, and he wasn't, really working as hard as he was known for. He was kind of just phoning it in a lot as a singles competitor. But I was not a fan of Rick Steiner at this point of his career. I love the Steiner brothers for sure, but this is not a Rick Steiner that I enjoyed very much.
How you gonna call him a special needs babyface?
You tell me what he was. In wearing the headset?
He was a wrestler.
Mm-hmm. Go back. Go when during your Nitro rewatches coming in the spring when the Steiners come back. You pay attention to him, or even watch some of that old NWA footage, Championship Wrestling, WCW in the early '90s. He's special, boy.
What did I get myself into tonight?
Lord. Welcome to WCW Greed.
You watch.
We already know how WCW turns out, so you know the worst shows is always as good.
Now you know.
Suckers got to know.
Put the weapon. Put the sword down.
All right, well, with this match right here, it was a very physical fight, and you guys know I said it numerous times how I feel about Harlem Heat and the Steiner brothers, and we get this on one-on-one action right here. So I definitely enjoyed this match right here. It definitely picked up. But then when Booker T went for the scissors kick, and then Tony Schiavone called that shit the Ghetto Buster, the Ghetto Blaster.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
I was so mad.
This move has been renamed, but we won't say by who.
The Ghetto Blaster.
It's a callback to a Bad News Allen, but still. I was like, come on now.
God.
Come on now.
Bad taste. Bad taste.
Yeah, kind of like everything I say on this show. Bad taste. Disgusting.
Sometimes.
Gross.
All right, well, Booker T, he goes for a side kick. He misses, and then the ref, he gets knocked out. And then we see Shane Douglas come out from the crowd, and he clocks Rick Steiner. He had a cast, broken forearm, broken arm, whatever it was. And then Booker goes for the bookend. Booker with the 1, the 2, the 3. Booker T, he's your new United States champion.
And he's so happy.
And for the record, that is the second wrestler with a broken wrist tonight. Because Kanyon was wearing a cast on his right hand, too.
Told you he was hanging out with Kid Romeo. I didn't notice Kanyon have a bet.
I didn't notice that either.
Yeah, Kanyon had a cast on his right wrist. That's he went after it very early. He was getting his wrist attacked. Apparently, he said that he hurt his wrist punching somebody in the head, punching a cat in the head earlier in the week. So that's why he had this cast on his right arm.
Now I remember that cast. Yep.
They hurt people.
It hurt. It hurt.
All right, well, after this, we see Buff Bagwell laid out backstage, and Lex Luger is talking to Road Warrior Animal. He want to know what the hell's going on.
Wonder if they ever resolved that angle. Find out
No,
who it was.
they did not.
Oh, my Lord. All right, well, our next match, we have the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, taking on Dustin Rhodes. All right, American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, tagging with his son, Dustin Rhodes, taking on Ric Flair and Jeff Jarrett. Ric Flair, he is the CEO of the company at this time. And, guys, what the hell was that damn theme song Dusty Rhodes had? That was terrible.
That just reminded me also of Sean Stasiak's Enter the Music. whatever the fuck that was terribly awesome as well. But yes, Dusty Rhodes coming out to a knockoff of his WWE
theme.
That was terrible.
That was
That
with changed lyrics. You want to sing along to it, but you can't because the lyrics are.
Yeah, they changed the lyrics. He's American Dream. Next thing you know, they said something. I was like, what?
He's just a burrito eating.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's hard.
Put that on CD.
That might be the intro theme for us.
Put it on theme. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
So, Ric Flair wasn't even dressed for this fight at this time, man.
Nope, he was still in his.
They have the flower
shirt, his tropical shirt, and his
the
slacks.
loafers. Yep.
Yeah, he wasn't ready to wrestle.
Road Warrior Animal looked out of place, and
Yeah, he did.
Strap. Where is Hawk?
Oh, him and Hawk.
He's still alive at the time.
Kind
I
of
looked
like
it up.
Caster and that other guy in the Acclaimed.
Bowens.
Just because they're linked together and they are good together doesn't mean that they're friends. That they want to stay together, and that's Hawk and Animal and Animal. I mean, during this period of time, they often split up. Hawk had his own career in Japan with Kurosawa, I believe. So they were just separate a lot. And as a matter of fact, Road Warrior Animal would be the surprise mystery wrestler twice in his career. I think he did it again in TNA. It's like, oh my God, it's Road Warrior Animal, But Ric Flair.
It's funny because, on the Nitro podcast, we seen Hawk, and I'm like, damn, what the hell is Animal? Yeah. And he had the Lloyds of London, like, all right, I don't need to wrestle right now. And
see, at this point in Ric Flair's career, he's at the most down point in his career, life and career perhaps. Maybe not life, but in his career anyway. And you just see it in his eyes. You glossed over his promo earlier in the show because they weren't really talking about anything. But I watched it because I was trying to look in Ric Flair's eyes and just see, like, the sadness, the pain that he must have been in at the time. And just be like, I'm just going through I'm a legendary freaking figure in this business. They're booking me, treating me like crap, but I'm still out there. I'm still performing. I'm still doing it, doing what they want me to do. I don't care anymore. And it's like looking in your real life, looking in the eyes of one of your friends. Maybe they're heartbroken, they're sad, or something's going on in their life, and you're looking at them eye to eye, and you can just see it in their eyes. Something ain't right, and that's Ric Flair in WCW right now. You just see it in his eyes, him coming out just like that in a Hawaiian shirt and loafers, and it's just like, this ain't Ric Flair, man. This ain't Ric Flair. This is sad, and I don't want to see this. But we did see it, and we did watch it, and hey, first time ever, Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes on pay-per-view. And hey, got one of the bigger reactions of the night, even though they piped in a lot of noise, a lot of fake noise throughout the night. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that crowd was going mid a lot. It's one of the bad parts of having an arena that's actually lit. It was like, if there was ever a time when they needed to have the entire arena dark, this was the show. That arena was lit, so you could see all the inactivity that was going on during the show. You absolutely saw that.
I mean, no one was going to the EMTs for tissues because no one had nosebleed seats. So every time they panned to that shot, there was no one up there. But they did have a decent attendance. It was like decent. 3,000-4,000. But all
93,173.
Oh man.
Minus 92,921.
Oh my goodness.
It wasn't entirely bottom barrel, but maybe they had a lot of comp tickets out there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this tag team match, just looking at it, is crazy where these guys are at now. You have Dustin Rhodes, who's still doing this thing in AEW. You have Jeff Jarrett on his last lap right now in AEW. You have Ric Flair, who still wants to come back one more time. If John Cena is going to break the record, he's going to want to stop that. And obviously, where the American,
I called that.
Yeah, and obviously, where the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes is. God bless his soul. It's just pretty interesting to see all these 4 Hall of Famers who basically, you could say they kind of, put wrestling on the map. You could really say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All different eras.
Yeah.
They really did it, and it's pretty good to to see it. But 24 years later, these guys are still wrestling, and when Dusty Rhodes, he got the tag in. Dusty, he's animated. He's doing his jive. I don't think he was doing his jive. I think he's passing gas from eating them 20 burritos he ate backstage. Oh man, the place is happy to see Dusty Rhodes, and basically the heels, they go for the double figure four, and both Dustin and Dusty, they broke it, and yeah. Wait, how the hell? I don't even have the finish. How the hell they?
Mr. Small Package.
Yep.
Okay, that's why I don't have it. Yeah, I have it in my damn notes.
He rolled them up. He inside cradle by Dustin Rhodes on Ric Flair, I think.
No,
Yep.
Jeff Jarrett.
Was it just Jeff Jarrett?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's not Jeff.
you just mentioned, like, and I thought the same thing. You have the legacy of professional wrestling with the Rhodes and the Jarretts and the Flairs, and like this is what the pro wrestling legacy is without any Samoans.
That's on the other channel.
This is the other channel.
Yeah.
No Samoans. This is pro wrestling. The Rhodes, the Flairs.
Rhodes, Flairs, and Jarrett's. Yeah.
Now we got a Rhodes and the other channel.
Yeah. So after this, Dusty said, "Pucker up, you gonna kiss my big white ass." And Dusty, he pulls his jeans down. You see the red drawers looking like, I don't know what that
Well,
say.
he looked like he just wearing tights.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah,
Baggy
seriously.
tights.
Yeah.
They were
I'm
baggy
like,
tights.
that ain't his underwear. That's his
Seriously. And then Dusty was holding Jeff Jarrett, and Dusty put that big ass in his face, and
Ladies and gentlemen, we had a stink face.
there wasn't even no stick face. He just
He just
put
literally
it-
just
yeah,
he just put his ass in his face and sat there for like a minute.
Yep. And that was it.
Jarrett with the oversight.
Made
Oh
sure-
my God, it stinks.
Made sure some gas escaped along the way.
Some noxious gas.
to see your counter to what next week is WrestleMania 17, or 2 weeks of WrestleMania 17.
2-3 weeks, yeah. Would be 17.
Crazy.
Ric Flair would never get around to actually kissing Dusty Rhodes' ass, but he
But
did
Jeff
get
Jarrett
around.
did.
Well, Jeff Jarrett did, but on a Nitro coming up, Ric Flair would kiss a donkey's ass who happened to be named Dusty.
Oh Lord, well we got a ways to go for that one. So.
Yep.
On the Nitro podcast.
Don't hold your breath.
All right, well, it's main event time for your World Heavyweight title. You know it's a big fight because you got Michael Buffer out there. That's why they went bankrupt, paying the man, Michael Buffer. Hey, it is what it is. We have a Falls Count Anywhere match. We have Diamond Dallas Page taking on Scott Steiner. Scott looking jacked. The big bad booty daddy. Freakzilla. DDP.
DDP's music sucking. Again.
Terrible. Why would you
This-
take away the best thing of DDP?
See, this wasn't his music either, but
No.
it wasn't the Nirvana knockoff, but they changed to something else, and what you heard tonight or watching the show was still not it. So it was dubbed twice, pretty much.
Horrible.
It was
I'm like-
terrible. It was terrible.
Fake early '90s hip hop scratching for DDP.
Jeez.
Yeah, but this is probably the best match of the night. It was entertaining. They fought through the crowd. The only thing I had an issue with were the plants that they had out there.
Yep.
Meaning, why is a random guy just standing with a crutch?
Yep.
Obviously,
Sitting too
Steiner
long.
takes the crutch from the kid, and
Well, maybe he was just tired of sitting and he needed to stand up and get some circulation or something.
Yeah.
this shit was open, man. Ain't nothing to say. This shit was open. It was wide open. What the hell are you doing just standing there? Like, yo, come on, man. Oh, my goodness. Like,
Can't
why?
even get benefit of the doubt, huh? Can't even get benefit of the doubt.
Nah, they try to hit him with a crutch. It didn't really happen. And DDP trying to elbow Steiner through the table. And then, honestly, I don't even think the table broke.
Yeah.
That's probably like a legit table. And then they get back to ringside, and then you see a fan like holding like a cookie sheet, whatever. Obviously, he was another plant because Steiner took that damn cookie sheet, he cracked him, and then he pushed the damn fan. I'm like, you know what?
That's 2 lawsuits.
I'm like, when the hell did WCW Mayhem come out? Because that's what it kind of reminds me of right now. I'm like, that's what that shit is right there. WCW Mayhem. Listen, do I got that shit over here?
Look.
Do I got
PC.
that? Yep.
Look.
That's what that shit is right there. WCW Mayhem. Or Backstage Assault. Whatever one you want to call it. It don't make no difference.
All I know is I knew this pay-per-view was going to be special when they didn't even use their own logo in the name of the show. It was like somewhere in the background, but then they had in big bold letters WCW Greed. I guess they wanted the diamond look, but it didn't.
You looking too deep. Nobody thought about
Look, I'm a graphic artist. I look at shit like that. I look at shit like that all day.
Maybe WCW, the name, had a bad reputation at the time, well deserved. So they're just like, we're just Greed.
Maybe WWE already owned the logo.
Anything's possible nowadays.
They already owned the logo, so you couldn't use it for the show.
Yeah. All right, well, they get back into the ring, and DDP, he hits the diamond cutter, but Rick Steiner comes out and he breaks the pin, pulls the ref's leg out, and then DDP nails Rick Steiner. No, DDP nails Steiner, and then Rick hits DDP with the title, and then he busts open
Yeah,
Bagley.
that was horrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a gash.
That was horrible.
Big gash. Then it got to the point where Medeja, one of Scott Steiner's freaks, she distracted the ref.
Freak.
The main freak. She distracted the ref, and Scott wins by beating DDP with a pipe.
Well,
he put him in the Steiner recliner.
Well, yeah, the pipe led to it.
Yeah, he was out like a light when he put him in the recliner, but
Yeah,
you know.
that shit was ugly too. The way he put him in, he was damn
Oh, yeah,
near,
that- But that's
standing
the
up.
Steiner recliner. You know, it's like, oh, it's the Boston Crab that ain't.
Yeah. Well, Scott Steiner's the winner, but after the match, Scott, he puts like a Michigan banner on DDP, and then that's how the show ends, and they show highlights from earlier in the night. This was
No.
WCW Greed. What? Go ahead.
No. He put the Michigan logo or the Michigan flag on his back and then beat him with the pipe again. And then the show... Don't forget that extra pipe shot. That extra pipe shot's important.
That's she said. Oh, my Lord.
But yeah.
Well, this is WCW Greed, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on the show. The first half of the show sucked. Like we reviewed some older WCW pay-per-views from like 2000 and up. The second half is where it's at. That's my thoughts on WCW Greed, the final WCW pay-per-view. BDC, what are your thoughts on Greed?
I think had I not watched it today, I would not have missed the fact that I had never watched it before. I did not realize how far down the rabbit hole I had gone once Mick Foley had won the title, Goldberg had lost the streak, and all the other things that made WCW during that time WCW was gone. I didn't remember... Not only did I not remember the pay-per-view itself, I didn't remember most of the storylines that were running at the time, so it was literally just like I'm watching it for the very first time, and it was not a great first impression.
Same here, brother. Platino, what about you?
it doesn't matter.
Damn. Point blank. All right.
Yeah.
And there you have
And the
it.
guy that chose this show, Stratfax, what are your thoughts on the show right here?
It's Christmas time at Platino's house. He's trying to wrap it up.
Damn right.
WCW Greed. My thoughts were that it was very cruiserweight heavy in the first half of the show. And I told you guys that I did my own Nitro rewatch years ago. But I didn't watch everything. I skipped all the stuff I didn't want to see. I watched the main event guys. I watched the proverbial second half of the show guys that I wanted to see, the main event acts. I skipped guys like Jack Jett and and guys like that, you know.
Jack Jet. Damn.
I didn't want to watch those, so I skipped the 3 counts and the Young Dragons and those guys. I just didn't care, you know. But watching this show, it's like, okay, I will watch these matches this time and see what they're like. And you know, they do try really hard, and you can see that, you know, if they stuck to a vision of like, all right, our Millionaires Club guys, we got to get rid of them. You know,
Yep.
they're being prima donnas and they're not working. It's like, fuck these guys, then let's go with our new guys, our unknown talent. And if they went with that direction, which looks like they were trying to go with, then who knows where they would have ended up. But as a pay-per-view, it's like, yeah, you had good action on the undercard, interesting things, but it was just like you said. Now, with hindsight in pro wrestling, it's just dull, boring, uninteresting, and who the hell cares? As for the main event angles, I mean, they are there, and they're missing all the important guys. Where's Sting? Where's Goldberg? Where's this guy? Where's that guy? It's just not as entertaining as it could be.
Yeah.
But as a whole, it wasn't the worst WCW show I've ever seen. It was good. I'm not saying it was, you know, you had much fun with it. Just like you said, it was kind of very boring and uninteresting in the first half. Second half picks up, but check it out. Just as a history note that it's the last WCW pay-per-view. But as a entertaining show, thumbs down. This show doesn't matter.
It's crazy because I was looking at some reviews and they gave it like 6.5, 7. Like, ugh.
Because
out of 10.
they're
The second half, maybe, but I don't know. Just the undercard was underwhelming for the most part.
It had its moments, but it wasn't the type of pay-per-view where you can go back and like, oh, let me go back and watch this again.
I give that shit a 4.
my favorite show of all time is WCW Greed. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No.
Not even close.
I'd give it a solid 5. Just so you can go back and watch some of the stuff that could have been.
Well, if you want to check out WCW Greed, it's on Peacock and it's on the WCW YouTube page. Check it out.
And for those internationals, it's all on Netflix.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that's it for WCW Greed. Next week, we're taking it back to WrestleMania. It's my choice. One of my favorite WrestleManias, WrestleMania 7 in the LA Memorial Coliseum. And we're going to talk about all that, what happened behind there. And I'm going to run through the card right quick. In our opening match, we have the Rocker, Shawn Michaels, and Marty Jannetty taking on the Barbarian Hulk Hogan with Bobby the Brain Heenan. We have the Texas Tornado taking on Dino Bravo with Jimmy Hart. We have the British Bulldog taking on the Warlord. We talked about this because they had that following match, the rematch this Tuesday in Texas. Yep. We also have the Nasty Boys, Brian Knobbs and Jerry Sags, taking on the Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart for the tag team titles.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. This match I used to definitely enjoy, and I can't wait to see what Stratfax has to say. We have a blindfold match with Jake the Snake Roberts taking on the model Rick Martel.
All I can smell out in the air is arrogance.
Is that a plant? Is this a plant? Like, this WCW show got a lot of plants tonight.
I'm telling you.
Welcome to the Arboretum.
Oh, my goodness.
You like how I pulled that one out. I had that one waiting.
Yep.
The smell of victory. Arrogance.
Oh, man. All right, well, in his WrestleMania debut, we're going to see The Undertaker take on an OG member of the Bloodline, Superfly Jimmy Snuka. In a retirement match, we have the Ultimate Warrior taking on the Macho Man Randy Savage. I can't wait to talk about that match. That was a good-ass match. And then we have a tag team match, and John's going to laugh because I'm going to butcher the name right now. We have Tenryu and Kayatao, whatever his name is, taking on Demolition.
Yeah, lozenge?
Tenryu and, yeah, I don't know. Then we have an Intercontinental Championship match at the Big Boss Man taking on Mr. Perfect with Bobby Heenan in the corner.
No T.
Wow.
We also have Earthquake taking on Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Jesus.
Then we have another tag team match. We have the Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal, taking on Power and Glory, Paul Roma and Hercules Hernandez.
Wow.
Then we have a singles match. We have Virgil taking on Ted DiBiase.
Oh my God.
And we also have another match. We have the Mountie taking on Tito Santana.
My God.
Arriba.
Is this Strikeforce or this is Strikeforce Tito Santana or is this
I think Strikeforce.
El Matador?
I think Strikeforce, not El Matador yet.
No, if the model Rick Martel was out, then there was no Strike Force.
So he was just Tito. He was just Tito at that
that's
point.
true.
Just Chico Alvarez.
Yeah, he wants to go to Mikasa's for lunch for $1,000.
Close on Monday.
No happening.
And your main event is for your WWF Championship. You have that sympathizer. You have Sergeant Slaughter defending his title against a real American, Hulk Hogan. Guys, we have 14 matches to discuss next week, brother.
I don't understand, like, how, I mean, the runtime of the show can't be more than 3 hours, right?
No.
First match, 10 minutes, 33 seconds. Second match, 3 minutes. 8 minutes, 12, 8, 4.
Karakai.
All right. Cut it.
Okay, the only reason I mention it is because I watched this on VHS from Action Video across the street, rented it all the time, and I didn't see half of these matches. And were these matches cut for time because it's a singular VHS tape, or is it because cut for time because there were a lot of filler matches? Tito Santana and
I remember
whoever.
all this shit. This is my favorite. If you want it, I got it on DVD. I might even have it on VHS if I can find
I'm
it.
not even talking about DVD. Yeah, exactly. There's got to be something to the VHS version because I didn't see any of these matches. Well,
so you're gonna be in for a treat.
And considering the Intercontinental title, Big Boss Man and Mr. Perfect probably lasted 2 minutes. We'll see. Road Warriors and Power and Pain. Road Warriors and the Power and Glory, whoever. It's like I didn't see that either because I like the Road Warriors. I don't remember them.
They
on
cut
my
that
tape.
shit. Well, that shit was only 59 seconds, so that's why.
Go fight. You got that VHS? Go break it out and read the back.
Boy,
some other time.
We'll do my research. Not tonight. But it doesn't matter.
It'll be interesting next week's show. WrestleMania 7, Dom's Choice.
Yes.
And maybe
Real
we'll film
American.
it on time.
Real American shit. All right, John, strap. Close us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of Earth, thank you for watching and listening and following the It Doesn't Matter podcast. Please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Please subscribe to us on Facebook. Like us, comment, say something, anything, please, something at all. We will respond to you. Dom or I will talk to you personally. But folks, for tonight, it's Poppy Platino, it's BDC, it's myself, Strafax John, the host of the show, the Notorious One, Dom. We will see you next time. Boo.